I've been listening to a lot of the Browning lately, and I felt very, very, very inspired earlier today. And I think I was kind of like humming this tune, and I probably had Wake Up stuck in my head. So I kind of just threw this together. And it's just that, but it loops over and over and over and over again. And all I've done is just add a different delay and a different reverb. But for the main synth, I'm just using Massive X, and I think I'm using this first preset, but I've literally just turned all of these off except for decay, ring mod, and filter. Yeah, I guess so. These are just the animations, so turning these on and off don't really do anything unless you're playing with this, with the animator. So if we listen to it without reverb and delay, it's going to sound like this. Nothing crazy. And just to kind of save us some trouble, I'll probably leave delay off for right now, just because there's a lot of bouncing around, especially after I basically stop the playback. Like if I stop it there, it's fine. But if I go ahead and just stop it when it's delaying, like I stop now, and it's going to ring out forever, basically. So for now, I'll just turn that off. Yeah, like I said, I've just looped this a bunch because I kind of want to try a couple ideas. I'm thinking having it play once right here, and then maybe like some held notes, and then start like the main breakdown pattern. I'm just trying to really capture that essence of basically what the Browning does because I really like their simplicity in the breakdowns and like maybe one or two riffs, but then it's mainly the synth that's carrying the song. It's a nice change in pace for just the genre, I guess. So let me grab the guitar and I'll try and workshop a couple ideas right here. All right, sweet. And for guitar tone, I'm just using Gojira X, just stock load up. The only thing I've done is turn the gain down, turn my overdrive on, and then I think I've rolled back a couple settings. Oh yeah, mid, I just rolled back a little bit. And I think that's really it, honestly. Go ahead and turn the metronome on. Just get some nice held out notes there. Trust me, I have like a small vision for this, so this might work out. Something like that is kind of what I was feeling. I kind of like that second take better, so we'll just go ahead and duplicate this. Let's try that, and then extend that out. We'll obviously play with this and edit this to make it super tight and choppy. I guess we need to really figure out what the next part's gonna be. That first take was pretty damn sloppy. Second was alright, I think. It's got some room to be played with, so we'll probably do that, I guess. Just play with it a little bit. And that'll repeat four times total. Question is, does it go back into the breakdown, or do we make something else there? I kind of like the idea of it just going straight back into the breakdown, to be honest. It's kind of almost like a chorus, I guess. Or I don't know. It's something. But I think I like it there. I think I really like it there. And then what we could do, since I'm not really taking this song like too seriously, we could always take something like this and slow it down. We could maybe even do like a tempo change. I feel like that could go kind of hard, but I feel like there should be some kind of transition right there. We could do like old school deathcore. I feel like that would be pretty dirty. Or what we could do is be very obnoxious, and we could just take this and just spread them entirely out. I feel like that would go pretty ridiculous. Okay, that was kind of a disaster, but yeah, I actually like that a lot, to be honest. And I feel like with it slowing down, we will be able to get... my main goal is get over the 2-minute mark. And it looks like right here, we're already at 1:54. So we'll be chilling. We'll just go and extend that a couple more times just to have something to play with up there. All right, now we need to figure out what we're doing for that main breakdown. So I think just to kind of line things up, I'll probably just punch in some like random basic, I don't know, some kind of random basic beat with some cymbals just to kind of keep me going. Because sometimes you can just write with a metronome and it's fine, but sometimes you just need to hear like a cymbal hit instead of the metronome click to really get an idea across. At least for me. At least that's how it works for me. That might be a little too slow, so I wonder if we just put it on every third. Nah, this way sounds way harder. And we'll just fill that in for now, just to play with. I almost feel like we could just take this part and just make it really dissonant like that. But then I almost want to use this again, just spaced out. I don't know, I like this. We'll just kind of mess around with it. I think that's the same rhythm. I'm pretty sure. Either way, I kind of like it. Let's just figure it out. Yeah, we just need to fill in this, figure out what we're doing here. Then we will record right guitar. Then we'll program some bass and program some drums for the rest of it. Okay, I think I might actually have an idea for that. We'll move these over and punch this in, because sometimes when I do the auto punch, it cuts off where I kind of need it to. So this gives me plenty of room to mess around with. It's just short, sweet, super simple. I think we'll just keep it there. I have a rough idea on what to do there, and we'll come back to that and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. We'll just go ahead and grab a copy of this and paste it onto here because I completely forgot I hadn't loaded anything up yet. And then like I said too, all of these will be edited because we're gonna make it just as tight as humanly possible. And then same thing, just a bunch of copy and paste stuff. This section will just copy and paste the whole damn thing. We've got all of these takes, and then I'll probably just copy and paste this for one last time. And then we'll fade that out, I think, probably at the end. I know that's kind of like a cheap way of doing it, but I feel like in this instance, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, perfect. We got everything recorded that we need to. Now the main thing is just going to be filling in drums and filling in bass. So I think we'll lay out the kick template. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but for bass, I'm using Gin Bass. This is the first version. I actually got this on the Black Friday sale. It was only like 40 bucks, and I was like, dude, I've wanted this for a long time. I may as well just get it. For this one, I'm using Home drums for the drums because I feel like it gives me that more kind of like EDM dubstep style hits that I'm looking for this project specifically. We're in A. Well, we're technically in G, just tuned up to A. And then obviously we've got to turn on distortion. I kind of like those natural slides there, so I'll probably incorporate that into it. And then, yeah, I know bass velocity needs to come down, so we'll just probably roll this down quite a decent amount. And then this, if we want to follow guitar, we can just put it an octave up. Yeah, actually, saying that out loud, I like that better now. Yeah, that follows the rhythm way better. And then this will return back to the breakdown. Okay, so we can delete drums for that because we know it's essentially the same thing. For this, all we're gonna do is pretty much just make it halftime. Only thing I'm gonna do for bass here is we need to take this and bring it back down, and then it's not the first note there because it's just following the rhythm. So what we could actually do is just take all of this out, and then we know that's gonna pretty much fade it. All right, so now I pretty much just want to focus on editing these guitars to sound way cleaner. And like I said, we're gonna try and get this as tight as possible. And I know I've stated this before, people pretty much hate this way of editing, which is valid. I mean, yeah, everybody should be able to play their instrument, but this is supposed to be very tight and almost robotic-like, just because you kind of look at it as if it is like an electronic track. Then we can pretty much just visually scope out what we're trying to do here. Know for a fact that this is going to be pretty open. So what I like to do is cut it as close here as possible. And then I'll slide this. And I know I'm looking for this line right here. And then just pretty much line that up. Then we can get rid of this. and it just makes it super tight. Now on these like super fast chugs, the really triplet, or you know, the really fast part, if you cut it too short, it sounds a little weird. Let me cut this one too so it makes a better example. It's cool, but in my opinion sounds way too robotic. So I leave a little bit of tail there, so you can kind of tell basically what tuning it is in. But yeah, like I said, I think if you just leave that fully open and cut the tails like way too soon, it sounds way too robotic. And I know that's kind of the vibe we're going for, but that, in my opinion, is a little bit too much. So I just realized my camera's about to die. I need to charge the battery for a little bit. But I just want to explain, all I'm really going to do is just finish chopping this up, make it fit perfect on the grid, and then I am going to probably play with the drums a little bit more, put some more like some filler stuff in there, like tom fills and you know, crash hits and stuff like that. And then I'll come back at the end and kind of explain everything that I've done while the camera battery is charging. And yeah, we should have a complete song at the end of that. All right, so I just got done kind of editing everything, filling in the rest of bass, filling in drums. I've routed out everything drum-wise here, so everything's separated and nice. Let's see, this section here. That main kind of chorus part, I kind of just followed the guitar. Everything is literally just following the guitar. But yeah, just as far as everything, I didn't do anything too crazy. I did a couple of like weird, yeah, ghost notes on the snare here. In a couple of parts I did that. Nothing too crazy. Just a couple of accent stuff. For guitars, I added a couple cool things. Let me try and find one. As you can see here, here's all my bass drops because this is a fun song. Okay, so here we go. For guitars, in this section, have a nice little glitch, and then I have another one here right before it kicks into the other side of the breakdown. And in the mix, it's going to sound like this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just filling in bass, drums, little guitar effects, a couple of the drum accents and stuff like that. I just did a quick little fade in here, and then a quick little fade out at the end of this. So yeah, let's just give this thing a full listen, and you'll see kind of everything we came up with today. So yeah, I hope y'all like that. Let me know what you do or didn't like about it. If you want to hear more stuff like this, don't forget to subscribe because I release everything that I do every Monday and Thursday. It'd be a good way to just keep up with the channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.